I want him to be CM is obvious because I want to see the state again be competing with other states, especially other South Indian states that are growing very fast in terms of economical development, be Tamil Nadu, be Telangana, Karnataka for that matter. So I want that to happen again.
As an NRI, what's your view on the current situation in Andhra, specifically around CBN's arrest?
Competing with other states, especially other South Indian states that are growing very fast in terms of economical development, be Tamil Nadu, be Telangana, Karnataka for that matter. So I want that to happen again. So I definitely want Chandrababu Naidu to be...
Do you think will they come? With all current practices?
I would say yes. Before the arrest and before all this drama, I would have been more skeptical. But I think I was sure. From what I've seen, from what I've talked to people, like when I go back, I not only just with the family members, but the people like helpers and all. Right, when we talk to them, I see a sense of dissatisfaction in all the sections of people.
What's the pulse of AP people that you in contact with?
Of people. So from that, what I understood is compared to 3-4 years ago, like when he came in 2019, 2020, even before the COVID or during that COVID time, I was still hearing some positive responses around. But this time, like 2 months ago when I went back, I felt completely negative response from the people around. So from that, I felt like he's gonna lose badly. But now after all this drama, I think it's for sure. It's for sure he's gonna Jagan is gonna lose very badly this time around. That's my opinion.
And వాళ్ళ specific feedback or thoughts ఏంటి మీరు helpers తో మాట్లాడినప్పుడు?
Yeah. So one thing that's kind of in the society is Jagan is for welfare, and he gives a lot of money to the poor people and all, right? That is the only green shoot that he has in his entire 4.5 years. Right? But even in that, he started maybe because of lack of money, because of whatever reasons, he also started cutting the amount that he was giving to the people. For example, right, one of my helpers, what she said is, so she is not receiving the complete amount for Amavali. The reason why is because her electricity bill has gone beyond 500 rupees per month or per 2 months. What she says is the reason why it has gone beyond that is because the increase in the prices and addition of a lot of that tax, this tax and all, incline the government. So it's like, you take a family who spend about 150, who used to get about 150 rupees before, now are getting above 500. That's because you increase the prices. They haven't increased the consumption, right? So that means what you're saying is literally you don't use anything, no TV, no fridge, no fan, nothing, or no and then just be there. Then we'll give you the entire amount. And that's the state that he is in. Whether he is doing it knowingly or unknowingly or because of the constraints that he has in terms of money, we don't know. But that is causing a sense of, like, that's an example, right? So that is causing a sense of dissatisfaction among that section of people as well, who otherwise are definite voters of YSRCP. So this is just one example. I can give more examples from different phases of different sections of life as well.
Right. So what about the working class and the business people or the white collar jobs doing services?
So it's a no-brainer. Absolutely no for him. Definitely no question at all. So because again, right? So there is a development. Where are the companies? Where are the jobs? You haven't even decided that. Before the elections, he said he's going to give job calendar every year, right? But where is the job calendar? Nothing. It's been 4.5 years, and then you're about to leave the government in about 6 months. So, and then how companies, right? I saw there was a summit that happened in Vizag, I think this year. It was just, it was nothing. They were, if you see, go to the government website and see how many MOUs have landed. It's all fake. There's not even one MOU that has landed so far. And just to counter this opinion of Jagan is not doing a development,
you are just you are just made up this whole propaganda and all. And people can ask about what about CBN? He also did like 5 summits in Vizag during his period. But then there have been a lot of MOUs that landed. These are all facts. You can go into government websites and see, and you can see infrastructure companies in around Tirupati, in the cells, telecommunication cells near Tirupati, or in near Nellore, in Nellore district near the border, Tamil Nadu border, Tada, right? So near Tada you have big cells where a lot of infrastructure companies have come, and there's a lot of companies or a few IT companies that came around Amravati. So there are companies that set up during this period that MOUs have.
As an NRI, what do you perceive as the role of NRIs in the anticipated changes, and how significant do you believe the contribution of NRIs can be in these transformations?
We are always considered as NRIs kada vallu vastaru veltaru, they have money, they live different lives, they don't know any problems here, and how does it matter to them?
I think I agree with part of it. We are not probably directly involved in day-to-day issues out there because we live here. But then at the end of the day, our roots have come there, our family, our relatives, our properties, most of them are in that region, right, in that area. So anything that happens out there, some sort of an indirect, I'm saying like there would be an indirect impact on us, or sometimes even direct as well, right? In case if there are issues to your properties with the leaders out there, and there are lots of people who are suffering, these kind of issues. Their lands are being, occupied and all.
What is the development that is not being done and should be done in your place and the whole state?
What way we can help is, I think this is one of the ways, right? So you kind of express your opinion, because being an NRI, you have that extra exposure, and then you can probably because of the exposure you have got, even in some other country, you can see the difference between a developed country. Of course, most of the NRIs would be in developed countries, right, for jobs and all. So between a developed and a developing nation, and what's the difference? What, and then you can put it into a perspective and come up with some sort of opinion and suggestions which are kind of valid and not biased. Mm-hmm. So this is how, this is a great platform, right, where I hope all the NRIs come in and talk and voice their opinions from both sides, right? So from both sides. And neutral people as well, and then let people know. And I hope that's one way of doing it. And two, voting, right? So we do have votes affair, so we have to come over there and vote. I know it's an expensive affair. I too did not vote last time around, but yeah, considering the situation now, I think it's okay to spend that sort of money but go out and vote, right? So irrespective of whether you are an NRI or a resident, go out and vote and voice your opinion. That's how democracy works. That's what democracy is.
When it comes to others like us, considering the involvement of NRIs, we contribute through sending money, and there's a substantial inflow in the form of remittances. As you mentioned, we have direct exposure, spending 1 lakh or 1.5 lakhs with a single trip or family trip for voting. Do you believe it's worth the money?
Yes, right. So, especially for the people who have some good amount of roots out there, properties out there. So, for example, right, I have two friends, one's from Hyderabad and one's from Kurnool, like my hometown. So they both invested in properties, which I know. Like one invested in Hyderabad a few years ago, maybe around 2018, 2019, and then now the other guy also invested in Kurnool. Now, if you see the price of the land, although it's virtual, but right? So the price of the land that the person invested in Hyderabad has doubled, has tripled in just 4-5 years. Whereas in Kurnool, I would say it's less than, it's 80%. It's less than what he has invested. And if he wants to sell, he would not be willing to sell because there's no proper offers for the price that he bought it. So I'm assuming that it's a small property, like 10 lakhs, 20 lakhs property, right? So you can do the math, and then just spending this 1 lakh, 1.5 lakh on it, it's fine, right? So as long as the person you think would develop the state, would develop the country, comes into power, you need to. You can spend it because it indirectly impacts your earnings or your properties out there. And coming back to your point, right, about NRIs transferring a lot of amount into India, right? So it's a huge amount, right? $100 billion last year. More than $100 billion were transferred into India by NRIs. $100 billion is not a small amount. Just to give a perspective, it's Pakistan, our neighbor, is going behind IMF for just $3 billion. And they don't have even reserves of $3 billion. And now you have only NRIs transferring more than $100 billion a year into country. So that's the power that NRIs have. And they're also a soft power in the countries that, especially the Western countries, that they live in. And that's what brings India that sort of an advantage or that sort of a positive opinion among the Western leaders, right? So NRIs can do a lot, although we don't think so much, but in an indirect way, they are contributing a lot to our economy, and we need to even contribute like that in the politics as well, or to the politics as well.
Sure. So coming to specifics, you come from Kurnool. And what specific developments that you would have expected to happen or need to happen in the near future?
Yeah. So, again, right? We can't expect a lot of IT companies everywhere. And Kurnool being at the probably tier 4 city in Andhra Pradesh, I wouldn't expect some IT companies out there. But definitely, there is a possibility of some cement companies, solar companies, and energy, like infrastructure related companies like JSW Energy. So companies like these, that is a place where we can. That is one of the places where these companies can come in and set up their shops over there. But the search for these should happen from the government, right? No company. See, how many companies does India have, and how many locations are there, and how many governments are there, and how many people are following behind these companies, right? So you have to be on top of all these. You need to be behind the business leaders to get those investments in. Again, right, comparison. So in Chandrababu Naidu government, we have bought the airport up and running. It was during the time of Mr. Ashok Gajpati Raju, when he was aviation minister, central aviation minister. That's when the runway, the whole airport work took a huge pace, and the first trial has also happened during this period, like the trials were. But it came into existence during Jagan's period, but that's fine. In I think it was already, everything was done already in the 5 years. And at that point of time, Asia's largest solar energy setup has come in Kurnool near Oracle. And then there was an energy like JSW Energy's MOU set up near Panyam, near Nandyal. So there were things happened. There were things happening during those 5 years. In these 5 years, nothing. No company, no setup, no nothing, no institution. It's all blank. So that's why I said I'm very disappointed.
Considering the shift of the High Court as part of the current government's 3 capital policy, will this change improve the state or local areas?
Yes. I would say yes for that. Of course, right? So any new institution, anything that comes out there, it creates some sort of an ecosystem and helps people around. But just one High Court moving it from one place to another place, I don't think will create a lot of difference. We should see again, right? We should also see how feasible it is. We should not. Although I'm from Kurnool, I'm not to that idea of shifting High Court from where it is now to Kurnool, right? So the reason why is you need to have all these High Court, Secretariat, Assembly, and everything work together in one place, one location. You can't have one Secretariat in Vizag, Assembly in Amravati, and then High Court in Kurnool. It doesn't make sense, right? Government employees work in Secretariat, and if an MLA or MP wants to get something, they have to go to Vizag and get it done. Or if someone from Kannur or Anantapur needs something, they need to go to Vizag all the way to get the secretariat done and go and do something. If they want to do something in assembly, they have to go there. It doesn't make sense at all. So the administration should stay in one place. Entire administration should stay in one place. That is lean. There is a concept called lean, and that is lean. And moving it here, moving it there just for namesake will not work in the law.
In the last 4.5 years, what notable achievements and positive aspects can be credited to the current government?
Yeah, so we have been completely negative so far. So this is a good question. Again, it's very hard to look out for good things that happened in the past 4.5 years in this government. However, there's one that I kind of liked, at least at the policy level, is introducing English to all the government schools, right from, primary 1 or first grade, right? So that's something that I appreciated. I felt like it's a good decision. However, I wasn't satisfied again with the implementation of it, because it was like, you came this morning and you said, I'm going to implement English in all the schools, and the next moment you kind of, start implementing it. But where is the infrastructure, right? How about teachers? So do they know, in the teachers in government schools, do they know whether, do they know how to teach in English? Right? So there are things like this. You need to coach them, you need to teach them, you need to improve their skills and develop that ecosystem, and that's how the entire thing works. It's not just, I come today and then I had something yesterday, some idea yesterday, and then come today and then I have 151 MLA, so I'll implement it right away. So now that's not the way how the government should work. I wish he had taken enough time to build that ecosystem and then implement, and then implemented it. But unfortunately, that did not happen. Again, at an example, a known helper's son, he was saying he was in English medium, and then when I talked to him, he said, "It's for namesake. I can't even frame one single sentence. I could have been better doing my studies in Telugu." Although he's a small boy, but that's what his opinion is, because his teachers can't speak good English, and the same thing goes down to him. So and again, I have seen some videos of girls going talking in a fake accent. It's really fake, to be open, in a fake accent and all, for just publicity's sake, which is fine. You can do whatever you want, being in the government for the publicity and all. But in reality, that's not how it should.
So campaigns are underway explaining why AP residents need Jagan and Chandrababu Naidu. What's your take?
I think AP, as I said, right, AP definitely needs CBN and not Jagan. If he comes out, right, like if he comes again this time around, I'm sure AP is gonna go down as another Bihar. Again, factual. Let's take facts, right? So recently I've seen a movie called Oh My God 2. In that movie, Pankaj Tripathi, the so-called hero of the film, he shows a posture in the court talking about the rapes in the number of rapes in India by states. So in that, unfortunately, I saw Andhra Pradesh as a number one, above Bihar. You can go and watch the film, and it's out there in the film, and you can see it. So, and it's he shows an article from an English newspaper. I think it's Hindu, if I'm not wrong. And then he takes out these 5 states that are in top 5 in the country, and Andhra Pradesh is already at the top. So is that what we want to see? No. We need Andhra Pradesh to be number one in development, in investments, in infrastructure, in startup ecosystem. So that which is what we saw in the past, in the previous tenure, right? So that's what we want. So that's why we definitely need CBN.
Looking ahead, with Jagan continuing his political journey and the presence of Lokesh and Pawan Kalyan, how do you envision the political landscape shaping up in the future?
So for now, I think in the next 5 years, I want CBN to be there, because right now, state is in doldrums, and CBN is the right person to be in there with his experience. I see the point of having, young leader in power. To an extent, I do agree with it, but at this stage, sometimes, experience matters the most. and you can see the inexperience of Jagan in the past 5 years, be it inexperience or be it ignorance or be it arrogance. So whatever it is, it hasn't happened, and that did not work well. So after 5 years, let's talk about 2029 for a minute. So then we have seen Lokesh as an IT minister. He did quite well, although he hasn't started well because of his lack of proper communication in Telugu and all. But he did quite well as an IT minister. The way he spoke to the investors, the way he spoke to the business people, it's quite good. He was being compared to KTR at that point of time, and he did quite well in that respect. And for example, TCL, right? TCL has come in. It's all because of his effort. So I think he has proved to an extent. And even like if you see Yogalam in the past few months, so he's speaking pretty good Telugu now, and he's strong. He has become very strong. He has become rough, and I think he's ready to become a leader. And another 5 years, he's going to definitely lead the party in a very, very good. Lead TDP as well as probably if they come to power again, lead the government quite well in 2029. And coming to Pawan Kalyan is an excellent orator. I think he is more humane. I think he has to be in the government, but because of his socialistic ideas, I don't think I don't want to see him as a CM immediately. At least at this stage, state doesn't need a person who's more socialistic, but more capitalistic is what is what the state requires. So keeping that in perspective, I think Pawan Kalyan should be in the government, but not as a CM or in a basically not as a CM. Yeah, so that's what I feel. And he just a quick negative or a quick criticism of Pawan Kalyan is, I think he needs to take conscious decisions and in a right manner. For example, he tying up with BJP immediately after elections without any promise, without any any promise from the BJP for the development of the state is something that I do not like. It's been 4.5 years and they couldn't come together and they couldn't do anything, and it's because of them I felt he fell behind the race in terms of becoming a good opposition party as what TDP is right now. So that's something that he needs to also learn. Of course, with the time, he's also young, he's new. With the time, I think he'll definitely learn, and we can see a better opposition or better, candidate as well in the state.
Coming from the social media initiative Build Better Andhra, what suggestions or recommendations do you have that could bring added value to foster positive change in Andhra?
So I think this is a great initiative by Build Better Andhra to get NRI speak and voice their opinions and share them out to the people. Maybe in future now this is an overarching view of what and how things are happening and just an opinion. But maybe we can also go down topic wise after few editions. And when now that elections are coming closer, so we need to probably make more and more videos, probably on topic wise. Maybe take one specific topic and then go deep into it and have a discussion or a debate. Maybe two or three people together, and of course positive debate or positive criticism is fine. And share out what people are thinking on specific topics and make people more aware of how things are happening now.
Okay. So we're coming to the closure of this, and before we close, a quick rapid round, and probably a one-word answer and one response would help.
Sure.
Jagan or CBN?
CBN.
3 capitals or 1 capital?
1 capital.
Amravati,
for sure, because it's at the center of Andhra Pradesh, and whatever it is, right? So a large exercise has happened. 33,000 acres were given by the people who gave their land for free, right? But they were promised. It's an excellent exercise. It's not in India, even in the world, acquiring land is a very, very, very tough thing for some development. But Chandrababu Naidu has come with such a great idea of having this participation from the public as well. those people, they voluntarily gave those lands and they need to benefit from it. So definitely I'm wrong.
Okay. Again, probably a short answer. Excessive welfare schemes.
No. Definitely no.
Okay. Speaking of our neighbors, Telangana, what is better for Andhra? BRS or Congress or BJP?
Good question. For Andhra.
For Andhra.
Congress.
Congress is better.
Yeah.
Thank you for engaging with the Build Better Andhra platform. Hopefully, we'll hear from many other NRIs who can share their thoughts and views.
Thank you again. It's been a great few minutes, and I'm really happy and lucky to share or voice out my opinion here. Thank you. Thank you.
Join the movement, Build Better Andhra. Subscribe for more insights and positive change. Together, let's shape a brighter future.
We talk about Andhra Pradesh, it starts with the politics of your Nadu Naidu program. To whatever extent, I think about 30% of them or schools were improved. I think that was good. Your volunteer jobs was a good idea. The number one thing which I can think of is the welfare schemes, which is good, great. They stretch themselves to give it any custom butter or any double instadaniki, and they come up with innovative things of pulling money, politically driven. Started a new trend now, and when you started a new trend, the trend continues.